The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft horse. Once more into the breach we go, dear friends. As always, we meet at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Yeah, they're not quick on the uptake today, are they? Very slow, very slow. Anyway, what else do we have going on today? Well, the S&P. Oh, did I just break something? I think I may have broke something. S&P's off 6 points on the S&P cash. 1.83 billion shares is a very, 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 very wimpy. And, what else can you say? Very, very wimpy. So what are we doing out here today? I think it's the hurry up and wait for these earnings to get through so people can see what's going on. After the bell tonight, we've got Intuitive Surgical, Microsoft. What else do we have? United Continental Holdings. Those are the big three tonight. We'll try to take a look at those as we go into tomorrow. What do we got going on in the morning? Morgan Stanley, Nautilus Medical, which has been showing up on my scans on just about an everyday occurrence. What else do we have out here? St. Jude Medical and Tupperware. And what do we have after the bell for Wednesday? Eagle. A lot of stuff. We talked about eBay yesterday. Knew about that. Intel, of course. Now, well, we'll talk about what we think these things are going to do. But everything looks kind of, in rare exception, looks like it's kind of just kind of stuck. And we'll talk about that on earnings today. Mattel after the bell tomorrow night. Packaging Corporation of America, that's going to give us good read on manufacturing. We've got Qualcomm, Tractor Supply. What else do we have out here? United Rentals. And that's kind of interesting. What do we get when we get to Thursday? Take a quick look at that. In the morning, Alaska Air, BB&T. What do we have out here? Dish Networks, Domino's Pizzas. For Thursday morning, Johnson Controls, Manpower, got a lot. Pool Corporation, Snap-on Tools, UTEC, and then after the bell on Thursday, 8 by 8. This thing's still around. AT&T, just, my favorite, Boston Beer. SAM. Capital One. What else do we have out here? Anything else that will move the market? We have Ocean Earring, Pandora Media. Ain't going to move anything. Skechers, that always seems to get a little bit of movement. Skyworks Solution, of course, from the cell business. Starbucks, how many people have been buying overpriced coffee? And Visa, that probably means MasterCard is on Friday morning. Take a quick look because they almost always are one day after. Yeah, Friday morning we got General Electric, Honeywell, Moody's, Stanley Black and Decker. Yeah, I don't know when... They must have missed it in one of the other ones out there, but MasterCard, Visa always seem to be within about a day of each other. So we'll keep an eye out on that. So a lot of earnings this week. Everybody I think, just kind of marking time. But we'll look at Intel and Microsoft in depth. We'll do a little colonoscopy on those. As always, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can post a message at the den. Yeah, I had bought that thing one time at like $2, but it had to be like 2005 or 7 or something. I remember I owned it a long, long time ago, researched it, checked out everything, and boy, did it disappoint me. It disappointed me to no end. But yeah, I'm doing better. What else do we have going on out here? When we look at the market, of course, the big news is these earnings. And I'm looking at I'm looking at a screen here of stuff. And guess what? There's one stock that's off more than 10% and one stock that is up, but not quite 10%. And that's it. You know, there's a lot in the middle, but they're pretty small. Earnings haven't moved a great deal out here. IBM is basically flat. Toll Brothers is flat after news this morning. Monsanto, flat. And we got some other stuff to talk about. But let's get into our history today.
That it's all just a little bit of history.
I messed up here on history. That is because I forgot to update my history today. I don't know why. I'm just absent-minded lately. We will go on to find true history. Wall Street, 1990, sets a blistering pace as then the record 6 IPOs are issued in a single day. The companies are Command Security, In-Store Advertising, MECA Software, Model Tech Holdings, and O'Charley's, and Wisconsin Pharmaceuticals. I used to eat at O'Charley's. I wonder what happened to them. It was an early sign that the economy and the stock market are recovering from recession, and a reminder that investors will always stand ready to buy a piece of just about any business with a pulse on this day in 1990. What else do we have going on out here? Very interesting thing. I had a very interesting meeting last night with some folks. We were discussing when we're talking about technical trading, I'm going to say that a simple moving average is kind of, I don't know, pretty low on the scale of what actually has become technical trading today. Technical trading is stuff that only, what do you call it, not physicians, rocket scientists can do, and I was around a bunch of them last night. These guys were smarter than a whip, and we got to talk, and I did find this paper that they talked about a bit, which I thought was hysterical. It's called the Hathaway effect, and what they've done is figured out that every time that the actress, Miss Jane Hathaway, what else is her name? I think it's something else. Somebody else will probably remember. What's her name? Something Hathaway? I want to say Jane Hathaway. Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, we're going to talk about the Hathaway effect and how computers are actually driving these markets when we come back. A lot more things to think about, and then we'll get into the second half of insights.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
As I was saying before the break, I was out with a bunch of tech heads last night, and these guys, just make my eyes melt. They're so smart. But one guy was talking to me. They are all in the kind of programming field of high-frequency trading and that kind of stuff, or other really smart things. But one guy talked to me about this thing and said he'd seen it and thought it was incredibly funny. And that is that computers now are scanning just about every news story. And every time Anne Hathaway comes on the TV or there's a big announcement of a new movie, it moves Berkshire Hathaway up, and it happens within minutes of the articles coming out. They had actually gone through about 25 of these. Every time Anne Hathaway has a new movie or there's something good that comes out, Berkshire Hathaway goes up a little bit. And if you need any more proof that everything is just wired, kind of interesting. Anyway, I thought it was funny, then went to research it. And there are a bunch of papers by academics where they go back and look at the statistics in it. And it may be weird, but it's real. So sometimes if you wonder why things are moving and you have no idea, you might think about what's in the news that's kind of close to whatever you're trading. But maybe not actually it. The algorithms are just picking up and running with it. It seemed like it was a positive story, so people were buying the stock or the underlying in it. But this one apparently is the easiest one to prove, and I thought it was rather interesting. Arms holders, of course, it's getting bought out. There are a couple of these buyouts that look like maybe they will not go through. SoftBank, of course, is a Japanese company. When they announced the buyout of Arms Holdings yesterday, everybody, well, pretty much was in bed in Japan. When they woke up, they were incensed, to say the least. There's apparently a small riot going on at SoftBank, the company that is going to try to acquire Arms Holdings. And I'd say 90% of it, from I read the article, just about anybody that isn't in management thinks that these guys are nuts for buying it and paying the price that they paid for it. But it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know. In the United States, it's probably a lot easier to get a deal like this blown out. But there are a few of these things that just don't make a lot of sense. I looked at this one yesterday, and I thought, yeah, it's interesting, but man, I don't get the whole thing with Japan basically buying Arms Holdings, an English company. Now, there was, the $32 billion they paid for it. Is it worth $32 billion? Maybe not. But if you get no interest and the exchange rate right now for what the pound is, can you make a kind of a case for it? I think you can. But there are a couple of really flaky buyouts going on. Monsanto is another one that doesn't make any sense at all to me. Why would you buy a company that the product is illegal in the country that you are out of? Actually, it'll probably even be easier now with the British exit to make sure that none of these genetically modified foods are available in Europe. So I don't know, just a lot of weird stuff going on out here. And probably because money is so cheap that people are thinking, well, doesn't matter how much we overpay for it. Eventually, it's going to be worth something. And I don't know. That thinking seems to me the kind of thinking that maybe made the Titanic people say it was unsinkable. It just always worries me when I see people throwing money around, thinking that it comes closer to the end. Why I've tried to stay out of politics here. The one thing that did come across yesterday that I thought was very interesting, the Republican Party's policy in the last minute had a new part of the platform, and it was basically pushed by Trump. So I can imagine that he's going to implement this if elected. But they are calling for the reinstatement of the 1933 Glass-Steagall law requiring the separation of commercial investment banking, according to language released on Monday. The interesting part that I thought about this was that the Dodd-Frank thing was supposed to address all this, and it was going to be called the Volcker Rule. And, of course, what happened? Time went on. They slowed down Dodd-Frank to a crawl. None of those, only about half the regulations ever got through on Dodd-Frank. The rest of them tend to be stalled. I would imagine that there's some people throwing some cash around from Wall Street to K Street in Washington, D.C., but that they kind of pushed this at the last minute, and the way it came across, I was reading a little bit more of it. For those folks that don't know what Glass-Steagall was, it did kind of get repealed, but it puts a wall between broker-dealers and investment banks so that they can't get into bigger trouble than they should. There are a few regulations with Dodd-Frank that have curtailed at least the worst parts of leverage into these kinds of markets. But I always wonder what happens. You kind of need to put this in when the market has blown up, because once you try to run these things after the market's already in a bubble, pretty easy to pop it. But I don't know. We can continue thinking about it, but leverage is the enemy of long-term markets. It is, just like I said before, too easy to borrow money. It's too easy to shove it in the stock market. And as Tom's favorite loves to say, privatizing losses and privatizing wins and making losses a issue of the government. But kind of interesting to see that old Glass-Steagall is being dusted off here again. I can't say that it would be a worse market to have that in, but we shall see. But something to think about when we get to November. Some of the other things that I want to be watching out here are, we'll just talk about Netflix.
Stream, 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 stream,
Netflix, of course, came out with earnings last night. Trading out at 85.36 on the last tick out here. So it's right back down to its lower support level, the May 12th low and this June 27th low. Let's see what we have for volume out here. Let me check real quick. Do I have it? Yeah, volume 46 million shares. So, of course, we have all the volume we have to blow out that $85 low. But it hasn't. Now, you got that 79.95 back here with 25 million shares. So you can't really look at it. Anyway, I was having a conversation with one of my subscribers yesterday, and we'll talk about how some of these stocks should be actually valued, because I think a lot of people are kind of confused as to the way that some of these work, especially in this sector. We'll be back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Anyway, I was talking to one of my subscribers yesterday, and he's big on a couple of the content companies. And one thing that a lot of people, especially newer investors, do is look at like movie companies, and they will have, I don't know, a string of hits coming out, and they'll look rather cheap. And you go, well, I'm scratching my head here. Why is it cheap? Well, the reason is that they'll get 4 or 5 big movies, and then they'll have 10 that all fail and the studio goes bankrupt. So almost all these content companies have lower multiples, and there is a reason why, and that is that huge downside risk to having some kind of big problem with in the studio. Now, kind of in retrospect, I wasn't exactly sure how people would react because Netflix kind of puts in its own decent content, and it wasn't something that I could predict, but it would be something that you can think about, and that is that, in fact, I looked at it last night. To this point in the summer, theater revenues are down 25%. That means that the movies that Netflix and Coinstar, in fact, what's that, Outer Wall now, O-U-T-R, let's take a quick look at that, O-U-T-R. As these companies do worse, in fact, let's see, let me take a quick look at Outer Wall here, O-U-T-R. I wanted to see if it had any reaction. It's up 38 cents, not really doing anything together with them. I'll take a look. Let me update a couple of things I've got going on here. So anyway, Outer Wall, same thing. If there's crappy movies coming out, I don't think a lot of people are going to be racing to the kiosk to be buying these movies. I've been watching this one for a while. And it's kind of interesting to see, but if we're having a pretty bad summer, it means that when these movies start coming out, which will probably be mid-October for the summer releases, that maybe Outer Wall will have problems too. If they wouldn't go to the theater to see it, maybe will they pick up a DVD to see it? Could be. But for the most part, my guess is not. So I'm kind of looking ahead to those. But there is a vast difference between the studio system out in Hollywood and the system that Netflix and HBO have. I'm going to even call it HBO as the leader, Showtime kind of secondary, and now Netflix and Amazon. That is just leaving the creative people alone. We were talking about Mr. Robot and the season premiere on Wednesday. And you see TV shows like that even with commercials are 10 times better than anything on the major networks. I think Mr. Robot's on USA. But it's all about leaving the creative people alone. It seems like, and I've seen it in any kind of endeavor, it happened in my business, and that was as soon as it was a success, and it was a wild success, suddenly everybody was glumming on and wanted to have a say-so in what was going on in the products that I had invented or designed. I don't know if it's so much invented as designed for a market, maybe a better way to say that. But everybody and their dog wanted to get involved in it. Everybody had an opinion on advertising. And of course, when we went public, everybody thought that they knew everything. And the company, of course, sold out 2 years later for 1/4 the price that it IPO'd on. I, of course, saw it all coming and sold 3/4 of my shares at the IPO. And all of my partners pretty much hated me because even though I had much smaller part of the company, I made as much as they did. And still to this day, when I talk to them, it still irks them. But that is it. And I probably can say that in Hollywood is the same thing, that everybody, I guess the old saying is success has many fathers and failure is a bastard. I think you can actually say that a great deal. But as we look forward into the near future, look for stocks, especially these stocks that have been in content, the older content ones, the ones especially that do the old model where they have lots of people, where they focus group everything. I just can't imagine, how many more Captain Americas, how many more Marvel comic books before everybody gets worn out on them. And you never really know exactly when it's going to happen, but a lot of times you just get some horrible movies. This weekend, again, we had a couple ones that were extremely average. It took a great franchise like Ghostbusters and made it a kind of a mediocre movie from all accounts, including the money they spent compared to the first week opening price. There's a lot of these people that just everybody has to get on everything. Everything has to be sausage. We've got to put this, and this in the movie, and we're going to grind it all up and hope that it all comes out. But I think when we look forward to this fall, I don't know if anything's going to get better for Netflix on movies, and we can look at Outer Wall as a direct indication, because that's all they do come this fall, on whether or not people are still willing to rent anything. Of course, with streaming already, it's problematic. But with movies, are you going to bother to get in your car and drive up and return the movie or rent it? It's even more problematic the worse the movies get. And I have to say that Netflix, when I think about it, the movies that I want to watch, like I said, I think I said maybe a week or 10 days ago, I was finally happy that there was some decent movies on there to watch. I'd seen them before. They were Defending Your Life and the rest of the Brooks movies. But it is hard to find a good movie that comes out of the main system anymore. I wanted to take a look at some of the stocks that are moving today. And as I said, there aren't many out here to really do anything. I'm going to look at CMG real quick, because it is one of the few that's up. It's trading out at 416. I had some questions on whether or not this thing has any kind of bottom in it. You would have liked to seen this 399.14 tested the February 12th low with 1.6 million shares, tested it with 100,000 more shares on June 14th, but it's kind of been going sideways. I still think that you need to see that 399 tested one more time on lighter volume. I don't say that this, I wouldn't be shorting it here. If this thing is going to fail, it's probably going to just jump and break through ice to the downside. But you know, if this thing continues to have low volume and sideways action, it's actually a little bit more bearish unless it just destroys it. But you know, maybe 384 down here with lighter volume might finally set a low in this, but I don't see a great deal out there. But it's up $8. When we come back, we'll talk about VMware, one of my favorite companies. I just have to find a way to buy it. Stocks and companies are different, by the way. We'll be back.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And very interesting. I'm going through all the stocks out here in the movement, or at least percentage movement on earnings. And man, I can't remember a time when 90% of the stocks were within like a percent or two of where they went out yesterday after earnings. 1.5% up on J&J. It's just back up at the highs. IBM, the same thing. It got up to 162 and changed today, but it's just a hair under 160. No big deal there. But of course, it's the volume out here. We're just turning 2 billion shares. And the question is, how do we want to look at it? I got an email. How do I want to look at volume up here today? That is that we came down off a high yesterday. What was that? 2169. Do we want to look at this as light volume on a pullback? And the answer so far, I think, could be yes or no. It's really about the close. So we want to see how the end of the day comes up. But certainly, if you pull back, you want to see volume increasing if you are bearish. I still suspect that maybe in the next 24 hours we get some kind of spike. I still see far too many people shorting far too many stocks without a signal. In the daily newsletter, I'm totally flat. I'm willing to react and not anticipate. In the longer-term newsletter, I can't find a reason to sell my longs that are doing fairly well, although I'm nervous as a cat on a hot tin roof. So what do? Well, you sit on your hands and wait for the whites of their eyes. Now, today and or yesterday and today are options rollover days. That tends to have some higher volatility that we couldn't pull back a little bit. Makes me think maybe there's still one more spike up. But normally when you get these kind of moves, I'd say at least half the time, if not more, you get one of these times where maybe we got 30 points higher in the S&P from what we have here. Maybe it happens fairly quick intraday. It goes up and it reverses, and then everybody knows the jig is up. I'm looking and hoping for some kind of signal out here. I haven't found one. I can't put my finger on it, but I certainly can't say that it's time to put any more money, at least long in this market, and too easy to get squeezed out because too many other people are shorting the market. What you want is some kind of move that goes higher, that shorts, existing shorts cover, and people that are bearish are afraid to short. We haven't gotten that yet, and normally that signals a fairly decent top, at least medium-term top, but no signals. In fact, this is a market that it has a strange economy with giving any kind of great signals today. And just going back and looking at these stocks or the earnings, not getting much. Lockheed Martin up 0.75%. Monsanto, it had news. Netflix is the only one that's really down off 13%. Philip Morris, it's down 3%. That's one of the bigger movers out here. Toll Brothers flat. United Health Group flat. VMware. Oh, we were going to talk about VMware and J&J. I don't see anything in J&J that changes anything out here today. Let's take a look at VMware. VMware real quick. 68.33. That takes you to the very top of this gap down. That gap happened with 21 million shares. Let me get the final updated to 7 million shares. So, I mean, you wanted, big earnings, nice gap up. You wanted 21 million shares today, and I don't think you're going to get it. But this has not been the end of any of these stocks. They tended to creep higher. And like I said, my experience is just wait for the shorts to quit shorting. And that's generally when this weird feedback loop of shorting in the morning, covering in the afternoon, and ratcheting a market higher and up higher on lighter and lighter volume until it truly cracks. What else do we have? ADM, supermarket to the world, had some kind of news out here this morning. It's off 81 cents. I'd been looking at this. I think we brought it up a couple of days. It's one of these that's going up against its gap down. That gap goes back to, what is that, the 3rd of November, when it came down with 11.5 million shares. And what do we have for volume right now? 1.8 million shares. So there's not anything in here that really gets me going and thinks that maybe there's something that's worth something in these. Like I said, no real signal, lighter volume, lighter thrusts, but is there any kind of real candlestick or significant move out here? Don't see anything like that. What else do we have out here? American Eagle Outfitters, it's off 18 cents, 16.97. It's been bouncing back up to this resistance level. It certainly came off the lows. It did kind of test its lows significantly better, i.e. it finally tested 8.5 million shares when we go back to the May 18th low against the huge spike of January 11th. But now we're back up to the top up here, and you wanted about 10 million shares. When we look today, we've got about 5 million, 1 million shares today. But the average volume over the last 3 months is about 5 million shares. So again, can't put any more money to work, but I still have to hope my profits become a bigger profit. This company is coming up. It continues to show up on a lot of the scans I have. We talked about this one having earnings in a day or so. And this is Nautilus Medical Incorporated. Symbol is baby. I assume we can figure out what they do from the symbol. This gap down on the 11th of January came in 1.4 million shares. What do we have here? BY. Today, 232,000 shares, and it's up 43 cents at 40.68. But again, are we talking about any kind of candles that really give us any kind of signal that make me think anything wonderful is going on that I can make money on? The answer is just not quite yet. Housing numbers came out earlier this morning. Let's take a look at Lennar and see if we get any kind of action in that. It's off 18 cents with 670,000 shares. So again, volume pretty pathetic, but hanging out in this $48, $49 range, which is resistance. And my guess is that a lot of these stocks want to gap up just one more time. On Lennar, if this thing could get up to about 51 bucks, volume remains very light. I think maybe you've got something going on in there. Okay. TMUS. Another one out here. T-Mobile. And it's flat. A lot of these stocks had earning or had news this morning. I thought maybe they could get moving. But like that Head East album of 1975, flat as a pancake. We'll be back after this break.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And if you listen to the Power Trading Hour every day, I ask just one thing. Since it's free to you, we don't charge for streaming or anything else. I'm going to ask you that you just tell one friend.
And he tells 2 friends, and she tells 2 friends, and so on, and so on, and so on.
And we need your help. Just tell a few friends out there about the Power Trading Hour, and I appreciate it. And don't say anything other than that it's a quiet day. That's the thing, is occasionally the worst thing that a trader wants is a quiet day. And the only thing that could be worse is being a trader on the air on a quiet day. But my guess is that we're going to have a lot more action come that 4 o'clock hour when these earnings start hitting. And, of course, That's why you want to hang on for the next 2 hours for the Tom O'Brien Show as he calls earnings coming out in that 4 o'clock hour. And even some that come out before it last week. What was it? CSX came out at like 3 o'clock. It was supposed to come out at 4. So we've got a lot going on out here. United Continental Holdings, we talked about that one coming out on earnings. Not doing anything today, but a lot of these stocks out here that have come down fairly hard are coming back into levels of either confluence levels and or just 50% retracements off the top. You've got to kind of look at these movements. In fact, well, let's get these off just a little bit more. Let's try to make them a little better. I mean, we're pretty close to 50% retracement in United Continental Holdings, depending on which high you want to pick, 61.41 or the 62.21. But they're both kind of in there. 49.81 is 50% retracement. These things, the last 3 days, the volume's calmed down. You just kind of go sideways. And then, of course, when you look at stocks like IBM and others, kind of tough to see that there is any juice. What I was hoping for and didn't get was the IBB. It's pulled back today, but 650,000 shares is not something that makes me think that this thing is going lower. Maybe it just can't go higher now. Maybe we have to sit on the sidelines for a while. What is it trading at there? 269.80. So, these basically got up, depending on what you want to look at in the IBB, got up to their 618 retracements and a little over. But that was 270.83 and found fairly hard resistance right in it. Volume's been coming down for the last 4 days. But at the same time, normally you want to see some kind of real signal that confirms what everybody knows, which is volume is light. But none of these pullbacks so far have been having it. If there is one that was going to probably give a signal first on a big move, it would probably be the IBB. But again, no signals on that. Last one, if we have time out here, is NVIDIA. I don't know what else you can say about it. Wrote a little bit about it in the Tech Insider on Friday. But again, very tough to see any of these stocks giving any signal that it's over. It's up 50 cents again today at 53.47. No volume, but no signal. And, probably it's kind of close. Maybe you'll have to wait into an opening where we do gap down 50 points in the S&P. Or 100 points in the NASDAQ, but I just don't see anything here that says pull the trigger yet. Patience, patience, patience. And I want it now. See you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, not when you have.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.